trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and super admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Well, good evening to Semi-Pro. Good afternoon to Dwight. We don't get much time. We've got 5 minutes to go. Steve probably doesn't know this match is on. I didn't know it was on. I had decided that I was going to do Friday night 9-ball. There's loads of matches in the bracket. There is a match supposed to be starting in an hour's time. We'll explain that in a second. Let's have a look at this first of all.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10-Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many matches as I can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
Now, the match at the top of the list was only arranged about an hour ago. I had planned to do Friday Night 9-Ball because it was another full house this week, even though the Grey Slate Mooncake match was on the one-loss side. But I have had a message from Travelling TT who tells me that Grey Slate, now I'm not sure whether Grey Slate was taken to hospital or whether he's had to go to hospital for another member of the family. I'm not sure. But the bottom line is that it's highly unlikely that Grey Slate's going to show up for his match with Mooncake. So I hastily rearranged my stream, and we're now going to have what I think is a round 2 match between Real Poland Power, Stubb, good evening to Tommy, and Markshark, both players from the USA. If you look further down, the next match is later tonight. There's the match between Smoke and Sid from the UK and Ice Age, where I can't remember where he's from. Let me have a quick check. Hang on. He's from Australia. Which would mean that that's breakfast time, probably his time. If it's 10 PM here, it will be at least 7 AM in the morning, Ice Age's time. So that match I won't have because that's at 10 PM tonight. Then we have a match Sunday. Sylvia against Paul 24, who used to be Paulina 24. Good evening to Mark. Good evening. Did I say good evening, Tommy? Good evening, Tommy. We've got Sylvia against Paul 24 on Sunday at 10 AM. Now, again, the reason behind that is Paul is in, where is he again? The Philippines. So there's a big time zone difference. So it's always going to be in the morning, his matches. And if I'm at work, I can't get them, and I'll be at work on Sunday. Then we also have Sergresh. What time is it? We'll give it 2 minutes to go. We've got Sergresh lined up against Jover as a winner's side match, and that is at 1 PM on Sunday. Now, again, I probably won't be there for that because I'm on till 2 PM, we're thinking it's going to be busy on Sunday at work because of the Queen's funeral on Monday. So it's highly unlikely I'll be home in time for that one. Then later on Sunday we have Mr. Fox against Interchange X. Again, a winner's side match. That's at 6 PM on Sunday evening, British Summer Time, 1 PM Eastern. And I'll be there for that one. Problem is, though, that there's going to be an overlap. We've got a one-loss side match with Snake Eyes and Biggs, which starts an hour later. And then the matches after that are on Monday, which of course is the day of the funeral. I'll be off all day Monday, although they actually invited me into work on Monday, believe it or not. Although the store won't be open, they want people to hump stock around, and I decided, that ain't for me. So I'm not going in on Monday, and I'll be there for that match on Monday night. Good evening to Spectre. And then the final match on the list at the moment is Fast Eddie and Z Karaoke. Top of the hour almost. Friday Night 9-Ball, full house, which is good again. And although I introduced Steve in the introduction, he probably won't show, or he might eventually sort of look in the lobby and find out that this match is on, or maybe he's too busy. He might be busy because VP4 was down for a good while, I presume. I don't know how long it was down, but I know it was down for more than an hour when I got home. Maybe the best part of 2 hours, until Steve finally maybe got the idea there was something wrong. I sent him an email, sent a message to Simon. I never got a response from Simon, so I don't know whether Simon's out of town or whether he managed to get hold of him, although Simon was in the lobby earlier on. The room is up, by the way. And I think that's about it as far as the schedule goes. So as a quick look, now Stubbs in away mode. Markshark is there. Is Mark in a room practicing still? Yes, he is. So we'll get in. Oh, that's the other matches went up for Friday night 9 ball. Let's get in. So as I say, it's very unlikely that Grey Slate's going to turn up. So when Mooncake arrives in the lobby, we need to get him told in case he's not aware of it. Good evening to Slim. Welcome. So race to 17, of course, and lag for the break, no jump cues, all non-obvious shots must be called, and the 10 ball is an automatic call. So are you all set, Mark, for tomorrow night? I hope you are. I hope you're fired up. I hope you got my email as well, my message on VP4. I hope you read it. So neither of them are in a hurry to get in the room. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain of the full story to that. You probably need to ask Travelling TT. He sent a message, but I didn't quite. I was busy trying to set this up while he sent me a message. And as I say, it might be him that's been taken to hospital. It could be a member of family, but as far as I'm aware, that's where he is, and he won't be here for the match. So, as I say, we need to let Mooncake know as soon as possible, as soon as we see any sight or sound of him. And then once I've got your attention a wee bit later on, you may well have already saw the poll that I posted in the VP4 lobby. If you go to my YouTube channel and go to Community and click on it, you can then put your vote in. Well, as I said, neither of these two players are in a hurry. 10-minute timeout. They both will have the audio alert to let them know the room is up. So we just wait and see what happens. So hopefully the stream is okay. I've changed the chat text again, and that actually looks a wee bit better. What team are you in, Tommy? I didn't know you were in a team. Whose team are you in? Or are you talking about League in real life? That's maybe just the penny has just dropped, I think. That's maybe what you're talking about. Right, Stubb has finally arrived. Stubb, of course, real Poland power, but I've always known him as Stubb for goodness knows how many years. Now, if you get a chance, go to YouTube as well as voting on YouTube, or Semi's team, as well as going to my channel and voting on that community tab. If you go into YouTube and in uppercase letters type in Master then Power, that's with a space in it, Master space then Power, it'll take you to Stubbs' channel. And you can watch his latest video of him playing pool. He's just practicing on his own. And the amazing thing is that while he's playing, he actually grows an arm. You'll see it if you watch it for 2 or 3 minutes. He suddenly grows an arm. Of course, I'm just pulling your leg, guys. You'll see what happens. So Markshark's arrived. We are lagging off. Keep an eye out in the chat for maybe a message from Steve if he decides he wants to join us. I haven't got Discord switched on, but if he appears, then I may well just have to tab out to boot that up if he wants to join us. So Stubbs broke, and straight away we've got a dry one. Yep. Stubb grows an arm right in front of your eyes. Mark decides to push out. No Pot for Stubb. Well, at least he got it close enough to the rail to prevent the cut. Now that's a good reverse bank though. Now you don't hit these hard. If you hit them hard, it won't probably hold the line. There's a medium pace shot you need for these. Like that. That was pretty good.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
I had open heart surgery a while back. Hope it's nothing to do with that. Well, I think there's a fair chance it will be if it is concerning himself. Well, I hope he's okay. Good shot from Markshark to get himself started. He's just got to hold this cue ball here for this 4 ball in the top right. He's going to the rail. I don't know whether he can pot this and still hold the line. Yes, he can. And now has he got enough angle to dink this in? The danger is trying to go behind the 5, or if he can get the gap, yeah, that'll do. Needs to hold up though. Needs to hold up. Now, if he can get as straight as he can in this 6 ball, he's in with a chance. Well, that brush in the 7 has done him no harm. And now he needs the angle on the 7 to make life easier to get back onto that 8 ball. And let's have a quick look around. That ain't, well, he can pinch a wee bit, but he's in danger of getting hooked by the 10 here. He's got to watch. Well, he didn't get hooked with the 10, he got hooked with both of them. I could see that coming a mile away. And his chance may well have gone unless he can get lucky here. Needs to call the pocket in the top right. And he needs to call it if he's going to kick. There's a shot.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
He's not good in the 9. He's not good in the 9. But if he doesn't think he can pot this, then he can duck. But Stubb will probably go for a bank anyway. This is going to be good. Yeah, that's going to be a missed call if it goes in. But anyway, the rack is now over. So all the hard work was done by Markshark there to no avail. So it was a chance for Markshark. That was on Stubb's break, so Mark has a chance to redeem himself immediately if he can get something going here. But like Stubb, he's come up dry. The only difference is that Stubb's off and running here. 1, 2, 3, 4, not a problem. Getting to the 5, depending on the angle he has in the 4, might be a problem. And then it'll be from the 7 to the 8, where he just needs to get right up the table here to at least the side pocket to be able to cut that 8 ball. Now, that was well controlled. Nice little angle as well, just to come through to the right. Needs to get high enough on this 6 ball though, and that's high enough. So this is the one that's going to make or break it. I think, let's have a look at the angle. He can go forward here and come down the rail, but he has to get up to that middle pocket. He must get as far as the middle pocket, and I think he's there. And now this is the one that's a big problem. To try and somehow get around for a shot in this 9. He's trying to go 3 rails here, and there's a danger of the scratch here. There's a danger of the scratch. Well, he avoided it, and it was never going to get him good though. So he's got to try and duck behind the 10 unless he's going to blast to try and cut this down the rail. Yes, he is. And you've got to thump this to get that 9 ball moving. I mean, he's got a perfectly reasonable safety shot on here, but you know what Stubbs like, going all out for it. And that was well done.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Crazy, but well done. And then it goes. So Markshark had that one chance there. Did it all, and then got out of line. And it's 2-0 to Stubb. And second break in a row for Stubb is dry. But he hasn't left anything on, and he's certainly not left a combo, because that's way too close and not enough room for manoeuvre, and that needs to touch the rail. It needs to touch the rail, and it hasn't. So, ball in hand for Stubb. Well, he can go up the table, obviously, with a 1 ball, or he can take it into that corner. But putting the cue ball as close to the 1 as that, how is he going to manoeuvre the cue ball other than a big deep draw and try and get back across the table to get to the 2? Well, at that pace, the best he is going to get is the combo. Welcome to Chico. And the 5's just hung up, so, well, dare we state the obvious here. Markshark has to get out, needs to keep that 2 ball there, and needs to be able to get out onto that 3, which was hampered by this 8 and 6. Sorry, not, it is the 8 and 6, isn't it? Aye. My eyes are going already. This is a little tricky shot here. And he's missed the 2. Well, again, it was just so delicate trying to get out and stay near for that 3 ball, and he hasn't managed to pot the 2. And this is going to be another steal for Stubb. There's been 2 errors so far from Mark, and it's cost him both the racks. No, as I was mentioning earlier, Chico, before you got here, Steve probably doesn't know this is on, and I didn't know it was on until about an hour ago. It wasn't in the schedule. Stubb did tell me earlier on today that the possible match in 4 hours, so I kept looking at the bracket at the schedule, and nothing had changed. And then I went and got dinner and came back, ready to get set up for Friday night 9 ball, and then found out that damn match was on, so I had to change everything in my preparation. And Markshark's going to have to prepare a bit better now. because he's going to be trailing by 3 if this 9 ball goes in. And he's hung the 9.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
And there's a gift in return from Stubb and Markshark. Oh dear, that's poor. I mean, if anything, you just get the big draw into that and get out of there. That is so bad. He's having to call the bank. Or is he trying to thin cut it? I'm not quite sure where he called. Has it got the legs? No, that's another rat going after getting a gift staring him in the face. He's thrown it away. Oh, these are painful. And, well, Mark's got to be kicking himself. I think he's really showing the nerves. He's really showing it. You've got to be nerveless and just play your game. And if you're totally focused, you're not missing stuff like that. And he's also come up dry in the break. What you call one of these slug breaks again. The balls didn't really get rolling. 1 ball's on, 2 balls over the pocket, 3's down here. Big bit of movement in the cue ball to get to the 4, but the good thing about it is if you can get either this side or that side, you're going to have a pot in the 4. Well, would you believe it?
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Stubb trying to use the rails and the angles to come around. And he's completely missed the 2 ball. And I don't think he went up there and looked at how deep that 2 ball was in the pocket. Well, Markshark's got a chance, but like I said, that 10 ball has now come into an awkward spot where it's sitting. And Mark's got to go possibly 4 rails here. He needs to spin this. I don't think he's got to go that way. That's the path that's the cleanest way to get to the 4. 1, and he's gone too wide. But look at the gap. He's found a gap. That wasn't the way I would have done it.
Replay of that last shot.
It actually worked. So close to running into that 8 ball. And yeah, I was looking to see if the 5 would go, but the worry was actually getting out for the 5, so he stayed below it. And now the problem is the 6. That's using all of the pocket. Now what does he do? Call the 9. And the problem with this shot is the 6 ball's going here. He's probably not going to have a shot in the 6 unless he comes up table and in the gap like that. That was perfect.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Now, loads of inside right to avoid the 10. And once again, he's still got a problem. The 8 doesn't pass the 10, and he's dead straight in the 7. He can try pinching an angle here, but the problem with that is, if he puts right spin in this, he could push this 7 ball. And he's tried to just reduce the amount of stuff he put on it, and this is why he's finished way up in bedhead territory here, and probably going to hit the 10 ball as well. And this is all a bit of a struggle here for Markshark to stay at the table and get off the mark. Oh, he was way off it. Now he needs to get lucky. And he has done. Welcome to Hair Pig. Who the hell's AD again? Somebody remind me who AD is. Is AD a VP4 player? Well, Markshark Well, I'm not even going to say anything. He's only got 2 balls to pot. I think he'd only 2 in the other rack, and he failed to get it done then. But that's a little lucky break that he needed. Oh, is it Paul? Oh, right, that's Paul 24. Welcome. So Markshark will be relieved that with a bit of luck, though, he's got off the mark. Stubb breaks again. Stubbs had 3 breaks in this match so far. He's not potted a ball once. So you'd then think he would then... I don't know where he's breaking from because I'm paying no attention, but you'd think he'd actually start varying the break a bit. Stubbs says in the room chat, Steve rigged the break on the update and bugged the rails. K. Yeah, I think Paulina changed his name to Paul 24. See, the thing is Mark's chatting away to Stubb as well, and I don't like it. I don't like. And now this is just me. I mean, fair enough to Mark. He can do what he wants, but I'm not one for sitting chatting away while I'm playing in a tournament. My mind's on the job, and these things can distract you from the job in hand. So Stubbs going to have ball in hand, checking to see the 3 goes past the 8, which it does. Making sure he knows. Again, it's the right thing to do. I mean, you've got to just have a quick look at where you're going. I keep saying it all the time, and be sure of where you're going before you hit that first ball. And straight away, Stubbs got himself in trouble. He's going to have to try and take this combo in the 10. He got himself 2 straight in the 3 ball. He would have loved to have been inside that 3 ball, then he could have stunned across for the 4, but he should still get this. So, already there's a crisis now. It's back to 3. Welcome to Wit. No, that's just a thing I've never done. The best you'll get out of me is nice run, good shot, good luck, and good match. That's all you'll get out of me during the match. So immediately we have a call again on the 10 ball, and Stubbs trying to billiard the 10. This is actually not a bad angle for the shot, and the 6 ball could help. But he's just called it just in case. He's slammed the 1 in. The 2's coming into play. The 3's down there anyway. And the problem's going to be the 9 ball, because that ain't going anywhere fast. And Stubb has gone too far in the 4 ball, because I do believe he was trying to leave himself an angle to get into that 9 ball. He might try it off the 6 now. Now, he'll have to hit this with a wee bit of pace as well, because, let's have a look, because he could end up just being behind the 10 and the 9 ball not. In fact, he's a bit too straight. He's a bit too straight. And now he's got entirely the wrong angle. on the 7th. So he's either going to have to go all out for a bank, and that 9 ball is too close to the rail, I think, for a bank. Regardless of whether he gets down on it or not, it might be just too close. What's that about you and Hube and partners? I don't know. I'm missing half the chat. And that's going to spin in the pocket. So another gift of an opportunity for Markshark, and all he should be doing is rolling the 9 into the top corner and rolling through far enough for the 10 into the left side. That's all you have to do here. Make sure you go through far enough, but not too far. Now, and I think Hugh will agree, I don't know, say again the bit that I missed. I've missed the first bit of that chat. I never saw what it was, but it was something to do with me being a partner. Good evening to Popman. So, it's the second rack in the board for Markshark. Stubbs. Or maybe it was Markshark that broke in the last rack and come up dry. Stubbs broke there and had a ball. And the 1 ball will go. He's got to try and stay down there, though. He's got to try and just nurse this in, I think, because he can't really let the cue ball run a great deal, because he wants to stay on the low side of the 2. But look at the angle he's got. So I think he's just got to roll this in gentle enough. But the cue ball's got to get right down here towards the pocket to have a shot in that too. Well, he's held it, but he's a wee bit offline. But now again, he might have to either nurse this in or run the cue ball, but he's probably going to run into traffic doing that. Yeah, he's good to go now. Slim was talking about a doubles cribbage match, you and me versus OPS and Stefan, which certainly... did we not play cribbage? I remember playing a cribbage doubles match, I think. I can't remember who with, but... in fact, it'll be in your... what do you call it? Your match history. If you haven't played an awful lot, you'll be able to go through your match history and see it. That's the black and white proof that you'll get there. I'm going to have a word with Markshark. He's on my league team, and we need to cut out this chatty business and palsy-walsy stuff. That's what I keep saying. You've got no friends in virtual pool when you're in a tournament. I don't care who they are. He needs to get that. He needs to cut that shit out and then concentrate on what he's doing. Well, I'll go and have a look at my profile and see if I can find it, because I've certainly the most that's on my profile is cowboy matches at the moment. So the gap is back to 3, and Markshark just has to try and keep in touch. Markshark this time. Well, if that was him breaking in that other rack that I thought was Stubb, that's now 2 in a row he's broke dry. And again, he's left a shot in the 1. Stubb is going to go 2 rails. He needs to watch with a bit of spin here that he doesn't run into the 10 and 7. Well, he's run into him from the far side. Where's the cue ball? He's okay. But is he going to hit? He's got to duck. with this 2 ball. He's surely not going to go for a cut. Well, there you go. I mean, Stubb is so predictable. He's so predictable, and he usually gets away with a lot of them. And this time, he hasn't. But that has now given Markshark ball in hand. And, well, the first problem is where he's stuck with the cue ball. He's nailed himself to the rail. He needs to get the cue ball off the rail for a start and get closer to the 2 so that he can get the spin working. He's right on there trying to get to this 3 ball. And he's missed the 2 again as well. He's not thinking. He is not thinking about what he's doing. And this is how you get yourself distracted when he's decided to nail the cue ball to the rail, giving himself no room. He didn't have a lot of room, but he could have given himself a bit of room to try and get down for the 3. And he's just not on the ball, thinking about what he's actually doing. Nowhere near the pot. And he can think himself lucky that Stubb ran into the 7. He's called the bank, I think, up top left. And again, see that the pace in that bank there was good. The only problem is getting the line. And now Markshark he's got to spin this right in, and he's got to hit it with pace. Cue ball will come across. He's leaving it on the long side. He wasn't risking hitting the pace to get it to come back across. He's content to leave it at this angle, and now the 10 ball comes into play, and again, well, dare I say it, he's doing everything wrong in the past couple of shots. That 10 ball was always going to be in the line, and these chances like this, he's frittering them away, and it's always going to cost them a rack pretty much, especially with the cue ball coming back into play. Has it covered it enough? No, it hasn't. Now that 7 ball's fairly tight to this right rail, and Stubb, with that angle, I think is going to try and bump it. He doesn't look as if he's trying to bump it though. He's got top in the cue ball. He's just trying to run around. Let's have a look. Oh, this is frozen. And not only that, he's got to get into the cue ball to get out and up for that 8. And these are good shots when you get them. They're not easy. Very difficult. He might get lucky though.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
There's a result. Who else has arrived? What are we talking about now? I've missed the chat. I don't know what's going on. Well, this is a hit and hope every day of the week. He's got no angle to work with here at all. He's stuck right behind that 8 ball. Well, I think if he jacks up, that looks not a bad effort. Did he call it in the pocket? I think he did. And that's unlucky. But I'm afraid it's bad news for Markshark, because it's very likely to be a 4-rack gap now. The Thunder from Down Under, aye, that's Neil Robertson. Well, it's about the ones that have gotten away here and a couple of poor choices of shots, and this is adding to your own damage here, Markshark. He could have been still in touch here, but he's beginning to drift away already. And this is going to have to take a fairly dramatic turn for Markshark to get back into this, but he's got to get wiser. So the break from Stubb comes up dry, and Markshark should be ducking away here. He has the opportunity to try and come back towards this 3 and 8 ball. But again, a lot of these players don't know when to wind the neck in and start taking crazy choices. Well, he's called a safety, I'll give him that. But I think he's got the right idea, though, that he's trying to duck away here. It looks as if he's trying to come back. Well, he went top side of the 8 and 3 when I thought he's maybe trying to spin to the bottom side of the 8 and 3. And where that line is, the 6 ball would have been in the way as well. Well, this is a tough shot. The angle on the 2 is tough. The side pocket's in play, and look where the 3 ball is. He's trying to cut it in and run the cue ball. 1, 2, 3. And that's unlucky. It's a good effort from Stubb. And he certainly can't pot it. And I don't think he can hit it hard enough to get that to run across the rails. He's going to have to slam this. Yeah, well, it threatened, but it ran into the 7.
Replay of that last shot.
It just caught the 7. And Markshark, I don't know whether he can see enough of the 3. No, he can't see any of it. He needs to get a roll. He needs to get a roll. Oh, that is a roll.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's how you get lucky. Right. So we have the 8 ball over the pocket, the 5-8 combo, not a problem. 3 ball. Now what's he doing? Is he spinning or drawing? Oh dear. Well, again, to me that was, if you're going to go that angle, you know that the side pocket is going to be in play, then why not take ball in hand and just draw it up into the big open space? Again, you've got to play the sensible shot. Now, to me, the sensible shot was just draw it up the table. And he didn't do it. So he's making major errors here in his shot choice. And that was probably the most glaring one of all. You know, if you're going to have ball in hand, well, unbelievable.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Look at that. Stubbs missed a 5 ball right over the pocket. Well, you couldn't write that script. And Markshark's getting a second bite at the cherry. And again, he's trying to do stupid things with the cue ball and not taking his medicine. And here's a guy who's in my VP4 TV team, and he's playing a wee bit like a numpty with some of the things he's trying to do. I keep saying about knowing your limitations, and he is not being very clever or wise in what he's trying to do here. I mean, that was a chance there to possibly get to the billiard on the 10 at best. And he's got lucky that he never left anything easy for Stubbs. So here's his 3rd go at trying to win this rack. And it's too tight for a billiard. So he's going to duck away. Or is he going to try and cheat the pocket? I think if he misses the 10, he might cheat the pocket, but I don't think he even gave it so much of a look. There was a possibility there he might have been able to cheat the pocket. And that's going to catch the pocket. So once again, for the 4th time, how many chances are you going to need to try and get a rack? Ball in hand. 7 squeezes past the 10 this time. No problem with the 9. What's he going to do to mess this up? Well, it was very close here, Pig, but to me there was a very slim chance that could just squeeze past. You need to be nailed dead on. But anyway, you should never need 4 opportunities to win a rack, and let alone expect to get 4 opportunities when you're playing Stubb. And Stubb missing a glaring 5 ball right over the pocket. Trying to get too greedy. And Markshark has the break in rack number 10, and he's back to trailing by 3 only when it should have been 5. Cue ball. Oh dear.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
That's the wrong button. And wouldn't you know it, the table's sitting beautiful for Stubb. Well, I can also do that one. But I forgot where he was. So it definitely should be 7 racks to 3 here in about the next minute and a half. Well, he's going to be, I thought he's going to be fairly straight. He's still got the nice little angle. Well, now he's got to go 2 rails. No, he's just decided to leave the high cut. It just means you've got to do more control with the cue ball. He's going to finish inside this, but it's bouncing. So Stubb leads 7 racks to 4, and it's his break. And that was a costly rack there for Markshark. A scratch, and then a wide open table. And Stubb's just going to feast off that. Plus he's had, what, the 2 ball, the 4 ball in the break. He's on the 1, the 3 balls up there, the 5 balls up there, the 6 balls up there. It's a shot to the 7 that will really decide the rack. I mean, I've got a slight impression that Markshark's come into this match thinking he can't win. You know, all this chatty stuff. And the mistakes he's been making early on as well. The poor shot choices. I think that's probably the overall thing that's ruling his head, is that he doesn't think he can win. That's my opinion. But, you know, just think about the maybe, 3-4 racks that he could have won if he'd been playing sensible shots to get there. Some couple of really, really poor shot choices he's played. And the amount of chances that he's had to win one of the racks, like 4 chances. I do think he just doesn't think he can win. And that's probably going to come even more into his head now that he's 8-3 behind. Well, Markshark again looks like... Oh no, he's got a ball. The 8 ball's gone. I thought that was another dry one. So now he should be looking to see... Did he spend any time looking at the table there to really know where he's going? I mean, he's now a bit straight in this 2 ball and he's having to dig. 4 balls over the corner pocket, so he doesn't want to be potting the 4 and running into the 6. He wants to get out of there clean onto this 5. Now he should stay high in the 4 to come out of there. Well, he's ended up dead straight. So now he's trying to pinch a bit, send it to the left side of the pocket, and now he's leaving the 5 long. So this now means he has to go forward and back down past that line to be able to play this 6 ball. And again, that was not a clever shot. He's put top right English on that there when he never needed it. He just needed to go forward and come up. He could end up behind the 7 there. So we can see there's he's doing some rather silly little things. For a fairly experienced virtual pool player, he's doing some daft stuff. Well, again, he's got himself almost in this bottom rail. He's dead straight in the 9. And if he tries to roll through and he's slightly on the line, he could run into the 10. He's trying to hold it. And I think he's got there this time. Well, he almost overcut that. He's definitely nervy. He's probably aware of the stream being on. And I hope for his sake he's listening. And maybe something will sink in soon enough, because it needs to, if he's going to try and keep in touch. Well, I think that's half the problem. You know, it's whenever a player comes in and they're all this chatty and palsy-walsy stuff, and some of you guys might say, well, he's just been friendly. And there's Mark. I mean, look at the pace he's played that shot there. Where was he trying to put the 1 ball? Was he trying to squeeze that past the 7? Look at the pace of the cue ball, and he scratches straight in the bottom left-hand corner. But as I say, you know, some people say he's just been a decent guy and been friendly. Well, I just think he doesn't think he can mix it with Stubb, and so he's not applying himself 100%. He's not focused on what he should be doing. Hence, we've seen some silly things he's done, and it hasn't helped his game. That's the way I see it. Yeah, you can agree or disagree, but to me he's a far better player than what I've seen so far. And Stubb can put him in lockdown here in a minute, as he probably will, unless he's again going to try and get right down on a 5. Yeah, But you see, he's now having to punch the 5 in. Does he think he can cheat this 6 ball in? I don't think so. So he can only go forward or back. I'll just nurse this in or try and force it in. So he's trying to come back. Trying to bump the 6. Got no shot. And now he's trying to duck away. Now it wasn't that clever from Stubb there either. Mooncake, have you heard the news? I just thought I'd tell you. Travelling. Oh, right, you have heard. Good. Then I don't have to try and explain it. That's good. So Markshark's called the safety. And that needs to keep running, but Stubb will call the reverse bank, as I call it, into the opposite side. It's a good. He's got a good room here to play this shot. I'd expect him to get this all the time. The only thing we need to see is where he's leaving the cue ball. And he's found a gap. Yeah, we all hope he's okay. Yeah. Well, I think unless something dramatically happens here, this match is gone already. There's going to have to be an awful lot of assistance here from Stubb. But not only that, Markshark's got to be up to the job and been able to take the chances. And we've not really seen. We've not seen a lot of encouragement. I mean, he's got 4 racks on the board. Most of them have been gifts at the end of the day. We've yet to see a rack where Markshark would assert himself by actually running the table and getting the job done, giving Stubb something to think about. Markshark's break. Looks like another dry one. And Stubb's going to have to start off with a combo straight away. He's actually pretty well lined up for this. I don't think he could have landed much better. I don't think he wants to hit this too hard either. Yep, he's just trying to give it every chance to get there and hold the 1 so he still has a pot, and that was well played, apart from the fact he's going to have to run the cue ball. Now he has to. Well, that bump has done him no harm. 4 ball over the left side, 3 ball right in the middle of the table, and this rack is gone. And it's going to be double figures for Stubb. The match is 54 minutes old. Right, for any guys that have arrived, as you may or may not know, I've actually had a long-term idea for Virtua Pool 4 about the camera features in the game. I've had it for a long time. I'm sure I sent Steve an email years ago with a badly drawn diagram showing him my idea. Never heard anything from him, and never heard anything from him since. But I sent him another email yesterday, I think, with the same idea. I've posted the idea on my YouTube channel, so anybody that's watching on Twitch, you don't need to actually watch on YouTube, but this is for everybody. Go to YouTube and go to the community tab and put your vote in, and I'll show you in a little second or two what I'm talking about. and then I'll explain why I'm pushing for this a bit more than what I have been in the past. So we'll see this go in for double figures for Stubb. Right, so let's have a quick look at this if we can remember the button to press. Hang on a second.
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tab the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
Was I muted all the way through that? But you heard what it said anyway. Not that I was saying anything when it was on. I was just letting it run. But what I did say while it was on, now you can hear me now. I don't know how I managed to do myself. I think it was because I was changing cameras. What was I saying? Well, the reason I'm pushing for this as a feature is simply because Steve did the update yesterday, where I think, and you guys can tell me I'm wrong, I think that apart from the little bug fixes that Steve did yesterday, there's a couple of bug fixes. The essential update yesterday was, or the main update was that he set VP4 straight pull maximum run limit up to 1,000. Now, what I'm saying is that it's, as far as I can see, it's been mainly one player that requested this. Stubbs scratched again. It's been mainly one player that likes the idea of having a race to 1,000, so that semi-pro can attempt to beat Jason Shaw's high run of 7:14 in real life. I didn't see loads of players asking for it, so my assumption is that Steve liked that idea and he's put it in. But how many people are going to be setting up a race to 1,000 to try and get to 714? So I thought, well, if there's enough people who go to my community tab on YouTube and put in their vote, then we'll have something concrete for them to maybe judge by, to see if we can add it as a feature. Now, he didn't say he couldn't add it as a feature when I hinted to him in one of the streams. The question is how high up the list it would go in terms of adding it as a feature, and also whether or not there's a lot of work in it. I don't think. I mean, I think that there's one option at the moment where you can set the camera to another end of the table, which you can set yourself. It's like a free camera move. You can go to, I had it set, but it's now not set. I think I had to reinstall VP4 again when I had to reset the PC. But anyway, regardless of that, I think it's a good feature for everybody, not just for streaming, but I think it does look more professional rather than all of this business all the time. I think it's far easier to choose a camera on a pocket than it is to be jerking around, if you pardon the expression, and wobbling the table all over the place to see a shot. So I need the viewers to go to that community tab on my YouTube channel and stick your vote in, good, bad or not, or whatever, as long as there's enough favourable feedback. There's no reason not to have favourable feedback, because you want things that are going to add to the game, or give a choice in the game, or make it better to get yourself around the table and convenient or whatever. If you think you can get a benefit from it, yes. If you don't think it's worth its while, no. But the most important thing is that he thinks it's worthwhile at the end of the day. Well, this is a kick attempt from Markshark, and in the meantime, he's managed to get 2 racks back while I've been rabbiting on. Superb.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
No joy in the 3 ball, obviously, but again, he looks as if he's trying. Well, I think he should get the legs on it. He might get there. And that was excellent as well. And that's slightly better touch. Now, what's Markshark decided? Has he decided to start playing? Has he decided to use a bit of common sense? I mean, this cuts on into the side, and if he gets this clean, he can get back up into the table for the 4. The worst that will happen here is he bumps the 9 and he finishes below the 4. Oh, he's going to head west again. Oh dear.
Good night, ladies.
Not that one, it's that one. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, the pace was far too heavy. So, a great opportunity there. Bit of a tricky 3-ball that Markshark had, but he hit it far too hard, too much running in the cue ball. Well,
let's watch a replay of
here
that
we
last
go
shot.
with another gift of an opportunity for Markshark. How often are these errors creeping in? It's far too many from Stubb as well. But Markshark's got to see this through this time, and it's still not easy because the 8-ball is off the rail. But he's got to get into the 8-ball big time or leave the bedhead cutting the 9. So he has to make his mind up what he's trying here. That needs to run. Has it got the legs? He's just got there. And now, if he's going to be sensible, he's going to go 2 rails back across and leave the awkward cut. And again, nothing went right with that.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
He's trying to squeeze the 9 past the 10 from the other side, and he should have probably just went back across the table. So again, I don't think it was the right shot choice, and Stubbs got a perfect angle to let this run. The worst that will happen here is hooking himself, and he's not going to do that. And it's another chance that's gone, and another rack goes. And Stubbs not getting punished enough, and that's the biggest failing of all. So the rack difference is 5, and it's a mountain. It's a mountain to climb. What link was that you posted, Mark? Bear in mind I can't click anything. Well, Stubbs breaks dry, and this is tricky. To try and get this thin and get distance, the worst outcome is he's just going to come back up the table and leave the 1 in play. Yep, the far better shot is the push out, and he may well get put back in unless Stubb thinks he can slam the 1 onto the 3 and call the 3. And Stubb, you know what he's like. You put the bait out for him, and he's just going to have a go at it. Nowhere near it. But again, look at where the 10 ball's gone. 10 ball right over the corner pocket. So now, big danger. Is the bank on? Yes, it is. And this has to go. And it ain't going. Oh, it's brushed off the cue ball. And it will go past the 9 and cheat into the pocket, but it is very tight. And it's going to be very easy to catch this 9 ball. I am pull. Oh, that was the one where Stubb grew an arm. Have you seen the video? You watch it at the start, and then 2 minutes later, he's grown an arm. Well, Markshark having to kick. Stubb has got him in trouble. And the 1 ball is going to be on, and it's going to be an easy rack here for Stubb. The 2-10 combo, dead set. Unmissable 2-10 combo for a 12-6 lead. Well, what we'll do after this is we'll head to Friday Night 9 Ball, get a catch up and see what's happening. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll wait to see the break. Was it you here, Pig, that, I don't know whether you think that's dry. Let's have a look at the bracket. I couldn't remember whether here, Pig said he was gonna, was you gonna play the winner or the loser of this or something? I can't remember. How do I move this? Let's have a look. Where the hell is this match? Why can't I see it? There it is. Oh no, it's Sergression and Jover double play. If he wins, that is. He'll play the winner of them. Right. Well, Markshark's got ball in hand. Stubb was clearly hooked. Now he might push this 4 along this short rail because it's tight, I think. Can he get it clean? No, he's okay. Well, once again, I mean, this table, you've got to be running these out, and immediately he's, I mean, again, that is so poor. It is so poor. He's most certainly nervy, and he's now played the sellout shot anyway by catching the 8 ball. And I don't know what's happened to Stubb here. Maybe he's gone for a bathroom break and didn't say anything, but there's, oh, there he is. Yeah, that's where you go to the YouTube channel and then just click that that community tab that will be on the screen, and then you'll have your 4 choices to vote. And it's a bit as if this is an alien game to Markshark. Some of the things he's been doing, and all it is an extra ball. And this is another nail in the coffin. It's 13 racks to 6. And Stubb would simply have to fall apart or get disconnected and forfeit the match for Markshark to see his way through this now. Well, good start. He's got a ball. What ball's that over the top pocket? The 9 ball. Three balls hidden away, so this rack's not going to be over quick. Welcome to Rob. And Stubb had a quick disconnect, but he's back. Well, he's trying the bank. This is not easy. Actually, he opened the angle too much, so the fact that he's actually hit the one he's in fluked. He has fluked, hasn't he? No, he hasn't, because of course it's a missed call. The ball, I know what's happening. It's a cue ball that's spinning. I didn't realise what was going on there. Cue ball still spinning. I was wondering why things weren't moving. So we know the 9 balls over the top right hand corner pocket. 3 ball and 7 ball are nailed. Markshark, I don't know what's happened to him because his cue's not appearing now. And that's what's happened. He's decided to give it back to Stubb. And I don't know whether that was the wisest move in the world. I honestly don't think this was wise. Because he's either going to be in trouble or Stubb's going to have a blast and try No, he is. I mean, that Markshark just asked for that. I mean, again, completely the wrong shot choice to put Stubb back in there. Never in a month of Sundays would have ever dreamed of putting Stubb back in. Why did Markshark not play that shot? That's the question I'm asking. And now, not only that, he's opened up the 3 and 7, and Stubb has ball in hand. 5 ball goes down the rail past the 3. The 3's a wee bit awkward to get to, but he can immediately get to it because I think the 2 ball's off the table, so just a little stun up. Oh no, he's going to play it long. Well, see, he's playing it long, but look at where the 5 ball is. The cue ball's got to move into the table. Oh no, the 4 ball's still there, and he's decided to try and play it safe. Well, this is confusing me. I'm surprised. I'm pretty certain he could play the cut up the table. Maybe the 7 ball was in the way. I should have went around to have a look. But I thought this rack was over. Well, he's called the 5. Now, does Stubb think he's trying to chip the 3 in? I'm surprised he's not looking at the draw back onto the 9 and cutting the 5 in, something crazy like that. Oh, that's poor unless he gets covered behind the 8. And not a great shot from Stubb this time, and that is a very big pocket. But Markshark has to be coming across the table twice here, I think, to get this 4 ball. He's got to let the cue ball run. Right. Now, what's the value in potting the 4? He shouldn't be potting this 4 ball. He should be ducking for cover here in the long grass because he's not getting in the 5. Unless he's calling the 5. And he's not calling the 5. He's deciding to play a safety, but he doesn't want to send this 4 towards the 5. That's the danger with this shot. Well, let's have a look. And I think Stubb can get that in off the 5 every day of the week. And Stubb may well slam this with spin to try and move that 5 into play. And that's exactly what he's done. Now, how's his luck? Well, he's going to have a shot. Not a great shot, but it's once again... I think Mark had to look at maybe another option there with the safety. The angle wasn't great where the 4 ball was going, but he can only hope that Stubb can't put this 5 ball away. And the 5 balls hung. It's the missed call because was that the 8 ball that went in? Markshark's now got a chance to get another consolation rack in the board for the moment. And he's nailed himself to the rail again. Well, he's got enough to tweak off the rail and get right into the open for the 9. He didn't need to jack up either, I don't think, but anyway. Now, again, you stun it to the rail and let it open out off the rail and you're on the 10, no problem. Like that. I wonder if I can get Markshark to go and look at this this match after it's finished, or at least look at it tomorrow or something. I mean, I don't want him to depress himself for the league match, but I think he needs to watch it. Well, Stubbs' break has given him the 1 and the 5. He's on the 2, 3's in the open, and this rack should be over unless he hooks himself behind the 6. But the spin has helped him. This is a little tricky one as well, though. He's got to get the pace right. And you see what I mean by being tricky. Just clipped to 4, and now it's a big blast for the cut. Cue ball going all over the place, but it should be in the 6. Unless he scratches in the side. Well, he tried his best in the corner, but he's still okay. So many have voted, have any's actually bothered so far? Thank you very much, Mark. Well, again, Stubb likes to leave him. Because Stubb isn't getting the proper pace in a lot of shots, this is why he ends up doing this all the time. You're having to dig out pots. And he knows that deeper into the tournament this isn't going to work. But he'll keep doing it. He just can't get that cue ball under better control. And then he uses most of his shot clock to make sure he's lined up as well as he can to play the thing. And he's got there. And that's what he's always relied on. And now he's going to have to kick the 9 in, because that's where he's ended up. And if he just kicks this in, he's going to have to bank the 10 as well. Unless the cue ball somehow finds a spin out of that pocket, he's not going to have a proper shot at the 10. And he's scratched. So another gift. So I think we should re-watch this and count the gift racks that Markshark's won from Stubbs' carelessness, because it's notable. I mean, Markshark's had a whole bunch of opportunities in one of the racks earlier on, and then pretty much every rack that Markshark's got has been down to Stubb. I'm pretty certain of it. Stubb either getting out of line or leaving a ball hanging at the critical time. Well, that cue ball was heading in, but it eventually bumped to 5, knocked it in. Or was it no, it was a 9 ball, sorry, my mistake. It's that time of night, the brain starts to go, you should all know that by now. So we've only got 6 votes. We try to say there's only 3 people watching this stream. The other lot that are there can't be asked. Or you're going to do it afterwards. I think 3 people had voted before the live stream started. Good evening to Bill, or good afternoon. And vote how you feel with those options. There's 2 that are good choices. There's 2 that you can't be bothered with. So go with your instinct. Just make sure that my choice wins. That's all that matters. If you're on my YouTube channel, just come out the stream and go to the community tab on my main homepage on YouTube, and you'll be able to see what you're voting for. I showed it to you guys earlier. Well, I'm sure if you ask Stubby, will tell you. Does it not? Does it not say in the video? And I don't think it does. But I'm sure he'll tell you where he was. That's if you can get 2 words out of him, other than bullshit and FTS. Now again, just a big stun to get into the table. Perfectly played. And it's going to be 14-8. How many predictions did we have before the match started? I don't think anybody was going for Mark if there was any. Who called a score? He was in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Where's Maryland? What state's that in? No, Glen doesn't play, I'm afraid. There's always been the suspicion that Glen was Frankel and other names in VP4, but if that is the case, then, and if the information we have that is true and we've no way of proving it, then he is now deceased, as far as we know. Unfortunately. Yeah. What's is that? What state is Maryland in? Till I get my bearings. Well, Maryland is a state. That just shows you how much I know. No, but no. Give me some geographical locations or states round about it, so I get a better idea of where it is. If you know what I mean. Is it down the Florida way? Is it up north? Glen Burnie is a suburb of Baltimore. Ah. That's further up north though, isn't it? Baltimore. Yeah, I'd Google map it, but I'm a bit busy at the moment, Slim. What's Markshark trying here? He's trying to cut the 2 and try to billiard the 10 in. And that looks beautiful. That is excellent.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Lovely little shot. He's got the vision to play stuff like that, and then some of the crap that he's done early on, it's unbelievable. Aye, near Washington, yeah. What I mean is, it's not a southern state. Yeah. So, can Markshark get to double figures before Stubb gets over the line? And he's probably hooked himself behind the 10. Yes, he has. So it's a kick. Well, he's calling the 10. That he's quite right to do so. Call something or other. He's called the 6, sorry, not the 10. And now he just needs to get a roll, but he hasn't. And Stubble again, you know, he should be feasting off these again. And the 7 ball's going to be slightly awkward. I mean, he's having to play the 5, then he's having to get out for the 6, and then he has to have the angle on this 6 ball to drop down on the left side of this 7 and not go too far where he's hooked by the 10, and he won't be doing that off this shot. This is pretty obvious he's going to have to either check it up or do the big draw and still leave the sort of long pot. And there's no way he can pot this and hold for the 8, so he's going to have to run again. Unless he tries to leave it just high enough on the 8. Yeah, he's just trying to open it up and leave the high cut. I remember that name. Jay Tut. That's a long while ago. I don't know where they were from, but that's an old VP3 player name. Goodness me, that's what, 15 years or more old, that one. Older than that, maybe. So Stubb back to a 6-rack lead, 15 racks to 9, and Stubb in his break. Oh, the 7 I thought was going to glance off the 10, but it hasn't. Markshark has a shot in the 1. Now, he can't just dink this in. He's got to get that cue ball out to see enough of the 2. And he has done. Now, again, another little tricky shot. Can he cut that and bump past the 5? No, he can't. Now, again, he should just be ducking here. He's got a fairly easy safety. Now, did he play that?
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Or did he try and blast that to cut it? You guys can make your mind up. Do you think he tried to cut that, or he tried to play that little clip safety? I think it was the former that he was trying to do. He's trying to do a stub and blast it. And he got lucky. Well, he's got a half chance here. This is nowhere near easy. You can't see an awful lot of the 3. I don't know whether he can see enough of it to pot it. And maybe he couldn't. And he needs that 3 to get up the table. Stubb will cut this again. Oh, he's overcut it. He's overcut it big time. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, now, let's have a look. This needs a really firm stunt to get out. You can pinch a wee bit of angle, but a firm stunt, and the best you're going to have is a cut in the 4. Well, he's brushed the 9, but at least he can see the 4, and he has to pot this 100%, where he's just coming around to either finish short in the 5 or go here without scratching. Oh, well, it looked in the pocket twice there. Oh, Super Admin has finally woke up. He's a bit late in the day for that. Yeah, when you haven't seen all of these players for a number of years, you wonder what happened to them. Whether they've gone to the VP4 pool room in the sky, or whether they've got other things going on in their life. Well, Markshark on the 7. Nice angle on the 8. And a nice angle to drop on the right side of this 9. Roll the 9 in. Take the long 10 up the table. Oh. Quick check on the 9 ball. Not a problem with the 9. Just a little soft dink. I mean, he doesn't want to run the cue ball if he can help it. And that's fine. and that will get him to double figures. It's still a mountain to climb, and everything needs to turn in Markshark's favour, but the biggest thing of all is he needs to start taking every chance he can get a snip of and making the most of it, and that's the only way he would ever come through this, and Stubbs' assistance as well, and it seems a long way away from happening. But he started well. He's got a ball on his break. 5 ball has gone. The obvious thing with the 1 is it goes bottom left, but he's going to have to draw back and leave a combo if he can. The angle's there to do it. Combo in the 2-7. Again, he's cheated the pocket big time, but he hasn't got into the cue ball enough because it's ran into the 4. He's dead on the 2. And, well, I think he's called the 7. This cue ball might end up going behind the 7 if he kicks this full in the face, this 2 ball. Well, the 7 ball actually thought about going. Oh, look where the cue ball's finished. Look where that is. Now, the 4 ball has gone in. What ball was it? It was a missed call. I got my head in a spin there. And now Markshark has that choice of putting Stubb back in, but you know, he's got a shot here that, I mean, it is a possible combo. He's not called the 8. He's just trying to run the cue ball and get cover, but he hasn't. And again, Stubb, being Stubb, is just going to go all out and hope he gets lucky in the 4. And he always reckons that the odds are in his favour if he lets the cue ball run. This time he's the bump in the 6. You know, no real idea where the cue ball was going to end up, but he's landed flush in the 4. Needs an angle in the 7. Oh, again, he's going to have to maybe leave this long. Yeah. He actually got well out a lot more than I thought he would there. But he's going to be on the hill, whatever way you look at it. But already we've seen enough and we know what Stubbs like. He will go for those shots just to stay at the table, regardless of any sort of decent position. He relies on the luck, and we know that he needs to get an awful lot of that happening in this tournament if he's going to stay the distance. But this is his best chance of winning one of them. 9 or 10 balls, his best chance of winning. Because I think basically because a lot less thinking has to be done in it. This time he's had 3 balls in the break. What went? The 3, the 4, the 8. Another blast on the 1 ball. Well, where do you find a Fargo rating of 552? What, is there an actual website that has all of that guff on it? Big blast combo.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, he'll just stop the cue ball and come back a little bit for a sight in the 7. Big stun again. And this match is all over. Run the 9 into the side, off the short rail at the top end. Back down into play. And seal the deal. Well, Stubb wasn't impressive because he was making his usual mistakes. His potting was bringing him through, and Markshark wasn't at the races for most of the match. And Stubb goes through 17 racks to 10, but he did get an awful lot of assistance. In fact, an awful lot of assistance went both ways. Markshark got 10 racks, and I think 8 of them, and I'm being generous, 8 of them were gifts, one way or another. And Stubbs got 17, and a fair stack of them were gifts as well. You know, nothing to do but pot 2 balls and do nothing else. So it wasn't. Let's just say this: it wasn't the greatest match in the tournament. And Stubb has got an awful lot to do if he's going to survive. But anyway, well done to him. And Markshark, well, you need to wake up. You need to get your act together. Right, so let's have a look at Friday night 9 ball and see where we've got to here. Full field tonight. Let me just change that to that and see where we are. Well, we're right through to round 4, and Larry's playing Bankster again. Dangerous Bankster with a money ball handicap. We seen it last week, I think, from Bankster, because I think he won last week, did he not? Maybe I'm wrong. And on the one loss side, Spectre Dawn is over there. He's 3-1 up against Travelling TT. What happened to Spectre Dawn? Well, Slim put him there. But Slim's also over there as well. Bankster done for Slim. And Slim is waiting on the winner of DJ Redo and Christian. So we might as well go in and have a look at Larry and Bankster. Right, I just need to refresh the chat. Just give me a second, guys. Hang on. If I refresh it, it should come up with a new chat. There we go. Hang on. Right, get rid of that. I'll be back with you in a second. Right. So we're now watching the rest of Friday night 9 ball. And Bankster is already off the mark. He's getting a 6 ball. And again, it's a very dangerous handicap that Larry's facing here, because Bankster is capable of potting 4 or 5 balls to get there. He's the wrong. Is he going to run through and miss it? Well, he's missed a 1 for a start, but he got himself on that 3 ball. And Larry's just going to have to duck away here. Well, that's not got cover. I don't think he can get to the. Yeah, he can't get to the edge of the 1 to cut it. But he's trying to spin it towards the 6. And the 6 has gone in.
Let's watch a replay of that
and
last
that's
shot.
why it is so dangerous. Oh, 7 and out, aye. I mean, anything. If you're given, anything like a 6 ball or something like 7 and out against Bankster, you're asking for trouble. Inspector Don has survived. He has beaten Travelling TT by 4 racks to 2. Well, I think he's got a nice angle to jack up and come back and hold for the 4. Nope, he's got a nice angle to run through, come out, and that works just as well. And Larry should be 3-0 behind here. And I'm wondering how Bankster keeps his rating so low. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, somebody checked last week's Friday Night 9 ball for me. Who won it? I think it was Bankster. And I'm wondering why his rating's not going up. He must have played enough 9 ball, or has he only ever played in Friday Night 9 ball? Why is his rating not going up? I thought the general idea is if you're getting a handicap and then you start going deep into Friday Night 9 ball, then I would have thought your rating goes up. Well, Bankster tried another combo. He hasn't got it, and he's not left anything easy for Larry. And I don't know whether Larry can see enough of the one to try and do a stub. No, he can't. And it's not great for a bank either. And Larry's caught the knuckle. We need to ask Steve how come Bankster's rating doesn't go up. That's a question to ask Steve. Well, that match with Stubb and Markshark was fairly quick. Well, considering that there was nowhere near all the racks were played. Well, the bank is on now for Larry. I don't think he'll refuse it. He needs to get the cue ball running. It needs to keep going. And again, he's under pressure immediately because he's got a really dodgy 2 ball. And he's going to have to either play a billiard onto the 8, depending where the cue ball finishes up, or he's going to have to play the combo. And straight away he's in trouble because that 2 ball was nowhere near easy. And he probably would have played the combo had he got there. Yeah, he did win last week. Yeah. Bankster not risking the combo. Confidently plays the bank. Living up to his name. And it's going to be 4-0 unless he does something crazy like scratch.
Trouble?
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, Larry will breathe a sigh of relief. Because again, Bankster only had to get out into the open table there to leave the cut. And he's overjuiced it. And Larry should be off the mark. Oh, Stubbs arrived in the room. Watch for it in the chat in a second or two because he's obviously watching on YouTube while he's chatting or while he's typing crap. It'll come up in a second. There you go. Could read him like a book. So Larry off the mark, looking to find a bit of rhythm, but immediately he's hung the one and he's left the cue ball in play. Now, this is tricky, where he's going to have to use the rail and the one ball to spin out and around the table to try and get a sight in the two ball. He's got to go rail first. Well, he wouldn't listen, and that's why he's ended up pretty much almost hooked, I think. He's not potting that from there. And he should have used the rail and let it run. He just really wanted to get top side of the two, so he could either play a lock-up or maybe have some sort of pot on. Reasonable safety though. Now, what's Larry looking to do? Just send it up towards the 3. And I think this time he's been a wee bit more successful. And Baxter now is going to bail out with a jump stick. Oh, he's going to get the fluke as well.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Well, this is all Larry needs. That's all he needs. He's sitting slightly inside the 3 ball, but I mean, he's got to have a shot in the 4 somewhere. Yeah, he's managed to hold it. 5 ball wide open. So now he's got to go across the table twice and try and get the cue ball back to where that 5 ball is. That's really what he's trying here, and that's a good pace. And likewise again, he's going to have to go up and down, take your medicine, and don't come straight down onto the 8 ball. No, he doesn't, because again I've forgotten about the handicap. I just remembered at the last second there. So Baxter leads by 4 racks to 1. Breaks off in rack number 6. I think it's dry. And Larry, every time Larry comes to the table, he's under pressure. He's looking at a table that is not a gimme because of where the 6 ball is. And a result through from the 1 loss side. Final rack decider, DJ Redo wins over against Christian. 4 racks to 3. Well, I'm looking at where the 5 ball is and I'm thinking, well, how does Larry deal with this? If he plays the 3 and comes out for the 4, the best he can do if he gets on the 4 is run into the 9 and 6 and still have a cut in the 5. That's the best he can hope for. I think that's probably what he'll have in mind. But it all hinges on how he finishes. He's tried it the other way. I think he should have held off by 1 shot there. And this is no an easy shot either, because it's a very thin cut in the 3. Where's the cue ball? So another sigh of relief from Larry, who now has ball in hand to get his 2nd rack on the board. Now he wants an angle. Now he's gone inside the 6, so he's fine. He needs to just see, Larry's not even risking getting up the table. He now needs to get out past the 9, which he has done. Oh, I've just noticed my little, oh no, it is working. My little banner at the bottom, I was wondering if it was working or not. Well, the 8 ball was a ball that went in. I don't know if anything else went, but Larry's finished nailed to the 1. The 5 ball's also gone. And now he's trying to find some sort of cover. This is a wee bit tricky. Because he didn't want to hit the 1 ball with any pace to start running it into the table. And he didn't want to do that because he's now left the cut in the 1 onto the 2 for the combo. I mean, Bankster, I don't know whether he's even looked at it. He's not lining up that he's playing it, but if you look at it from that side, you would think the 2 ball's got to go every day of the week. But if you decide against it, what do we always say? Then you better get good cover if you refuse the combo. And Larry's going to try and get out of trouble with the jump stick. Well, the 1 goes, but of course, the obvious problem is where did the cue ball go, and he's back in trouble, and it's going to be the jump stick again, but I don't know that he can get enough of the 2 ball and miss that 7. Yeah, that was the problem, and the 2 ball's going to spin off this bottom rail right, and now Bankster does have the table at his mercy. He has to get up the right hand side, and the pace is reasonable enough. And well, it should be 5-2 to Bankster. I can't see this going wrong. I've said this on numerous occasions in the past. I think Bankster's the most dangerous player to be playing in Friday Night 9 Ball. You know, not necessarily the guys that are getting 5 and out, because the guys that are getting 5 and out need 5 and out most of the time. Bankster doesn't. If the balls are there to be potted and you're giving them the 6 ball, then you better be potting everything you see and not leaving anything. Because if you do, this is what he'll do. More often than not, he's going to run out what's left and get to that money ball. And he's got cover again, I think. I don't think there's much of that 1 ball. It's just going to be a kick and hope here for Larry. And this 1 ball is going to come past the 2, I think. Is it? No, it's just dying. Now, Bankster refused the combo in the last rack, and it worked for him. Because he got the rack on the board at the end of the day. Well, this time, though, he hasn't. Well, no sooner have I said that than he has. He hasn't. Larry's not got anything in the 1 ball where he can get to pot it. Trying to kill it onto the 8, and that's not a bad result. Oh, the yawning started now. Here we go. Oh, that is a good jump. I mean,
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
that was really close to that 8 ball, and that was well judged and well executed by Bankster. And no sooner have we said that than he's hung the 2 ball, and Larry, well, the only good thing here is Larry's at the table, because that 5 ball is really tough. Doesn't go past the 8, isn't a combo, and will go into the side. And Larry is, I think, trying to go forward and come around and into the gap. And then again, maybe not. Well, he's left it really tough into the other side pocket. He's going to be bumping the 6, which will go at the short rail and come back into play. He doesn't want it to run near the 8 ball, because he might not have a shot. Now he needs to get a roll, and he's got a roll. Oh, Sylvia wins the final rack decider. Yeah, the results just came up there. Well done to Sylvia. Obviously, she was getting a chance to make use of her money ball, whatever she was getting. And meanwhile, Larry is trying to battle back into this match. He's going to be back within 2 in a second. Well, he's definitely had a ball in the break. I'm pretty certain of that. The 7 ball's gone, but look where he's finished. He's not getting a roll there to get a little bit of momentum. He's now playing the push out. Now, if he pushes to the right, he's leaving a big bedhead cut. And this 1 ball is far enough off the rail, I think, to entice Bankster, but Bankster's not taking the bait, and that's poor. He hasn't gone through with the shot, and Larry needs to get up the table high enough, and he'll be able to cut the 2 once he pots this 1. He's just having a look around to see how far he needs to go. He certainly needs to get to here, and he's not interested. And what does that tell you about Larry's awareness and confidence? He wasn't interested in the shot. He's looking for cover. He ain't got it, and now he's going to be buried. Well, he is really nailed. I'm very surprised Larry didn't play the shot. And Bankster has actually just played the deliberate foul. You see, Bankster is using his head. Now Larry's going to try and get rid of that combo. Bankster now is going to play the combo. What am I talking about? Unbelievable. I'm falling asleep here and I'm not knowing who's at the table at this time. And this is never the best time to watch, folks. Well, unless I'm out of sync. In fact, I'm just going to double check, because that was, I don't know whether that was an attempt at the combo or not. With the pace he played it at, it was never going to get to the hole. Yes, it was Bankster at the table. Unless he was actually just trying to keep cover again and keep it safe. Oh, is the cue ball going to hold? Yes, it has done comfortably. Now he just needs to get out of there. Well, ideally, he wants to. You would want to stun this in and come back an inch or two. He's killed it, but it's run on us, for an inch. But again, there shouldn't really be a problem. Probably going to come out behind the 9 ball. Just go to the rail, stun out to the right, I would think. Well, again, he's run into the 9, but shoot, again, it's simple enough. I thought he'd have come out behind it, but so now Larry is going to be back to within 1 with the break, and as usual needs a ball and a shot. Three ball into the side. Now if it bumps the 8 to kill the pace, he's got a shot in the 1. An immediate problem is the 2 ball. Well, this will be a good shot to get on the 2. And I think he's controlled that very well. That's well played.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Had to take the 1 ball long and try and get the pace to find that shot and get a line on that 2 ball, and that was well done. Oh, this 4 ball, how does that look? It's just off the rail. Nothing to do with the cue ball again. Well, that's all gone pear-shaped, and I don't believe that this is where he wanted to be, and he's trying to duck for cover and must get cover, and he has done. And what's more, Bankster playing the jump shot here. It's unlikely he's going to have a shot in the 6. It's blocked by the 7, and the cue ball may well not have an awful lot of running on it to get out into the table to see this 6 ball. In fact, I don't even believe he attempted the pot. Same issue for Larry though, can pot the 5 but has to really work the cue ball. Well, again, it's the best he could do. And again, it's another testy one on Bankster's money ball, remember. Under pressure, trailing by 1. Comfortable win for One Pocket Slim. Where's this ended up? Slim goes through 4 racks to 0 against DJ Redo on the 1 loss side. And meanwhile, Larry can see the 7. It's off the rail. Is he going to have a go? And yes, he is. And the pace in this cue ball looks good enough. If it keeps going, it might not have gone far enough. Let's look. No, it has done. It's fine. Not a problem. And we're going to be all square here. So it's a good battle back so far for Larry. But Larry cannot afford to blink or make a mistake now that he's done the hard work and got himself right back into it. Something into the side. And just what Larry ordered, or just what the doctor ordered. 7 balls going into the side. He's got the one into the side. He's got the angle to stun down past the 5 and 9. On the 2, 3 ball, very handy. Now he has to be careful how he finishes in this 3 for it to be simple in the 4, and that should be simple enough. That's just a little draggy stun. However you're comfortable playing it, but it's like that, just to hold the cue ball. Might be a wee bit straight again in this 4. Maybe have to just... No, again, Larry's not prepared to play the shot to get the cue ball down the bottom of the 5. He's deciding to leave things long. Another wee bit of testy one for him, because he's got to get the cue ball out again for the 8 ball into the same pocket. At least it looks like that from this angle. And then again he's let the cue ball run, and it's one of those. Still got to get the 9, of course. And the pace is good. The line is good. And Larry is on a roll now. Goes into the lead on the hill. 6 racks to 5. Five ball, bottom right. 8 ball, bottom right. 7 ball, bottom right. 4 ball, bottom left. And I cut up the table for the 1. How's that for a break? That's exactly what was required. Best break of the night we've seen. And, well, Larry should be winning the match right here and now. Because Bankster's money ball's also gone. Of course, sorry, no, it hasn't, because it's a 6 ball. I thought it was a 5. Forgotten again. And he's overcut the 1. And how far's the 1 going? Well, I'd almost given that rack to Larry there, and the bank is on for Bankster, or the cut onto the 2, whichever he wants to do. What's he playing? Looks as if he's playing the bank. Not quite. Is it going to hang on? I think it is. Oh no! It just died.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
It died in the jaw. I thought it was going to go in off the jaw there. And it just died. And Larry, this time, has to get it done. Oh dear. Well,
let's watch a replay of that last shot.
What do I say about Crackball Mice? He never went through with a shot. What do I keep telling you? Certain shots are not reliable, and that's a complete disaster. A total disaster. He's given Bankster ball in hand, roll through the 2, onto the 3, and roll the 6 in. And from having the match in his grasp, he duffs up the shot to get in the 2, never went through the cue ball. You know what I mean when I say it. You know the reasons I think behind it. And he's going to pay the ultimate price. It's going to cost him the match. The video evidence is there, folks. And so Bankster, tell a lie, it's Hill, isn't it? I'm thinking it was Hill there. That shows you I'm half asleep. But the match should have been over. without a shadow of a doubt. And I think Baxter's dry. Larry can see the one, but what can he do with it? Can't cut it in the side. At least it doesn't look as if he can. So he's trying to duck. And this time he's got reasonably good cover. Now Baxter though can feather this, and if we can maybe put I don't know whether he needs to put a wee bit of spin on it to try and get that. See, it won't open up because it wouldn't get to the rail. Well, it's still not bad. It could end up worse than this. Well, that's certainly reasonable enough cover. Now, if he tries the bank, he's got to hope this cue ball or object ball stays on the table from this shot, because he's invariably end up off the table. Well, it managed to stay on. But Larry now will have his chance, and if this is dead straight though. He doesn't want to get greedy, but he's going to have to get greedy and try and pinch something off this, unless he decides to leave it inside and leave an awkward cut in the two. And that's what he's decided. He needs the angle to get out into the table and have some sort of sight in the three, so he doesn't need to run this in full blast. He just needs to get it into the hole. The cue ball should come round. Well, that's actually helped him big time, because it's taken the pace off the cue ball. He's sitting pretty nicely in the three. 4 balls there. Now, what does he do? Does he come back for the 5 into the right side, or does he let the cue ball run now? He's letting it run this time. Now, once again, he should be just running this in, because if he does, I don't know whether he wants to try and baby it in. It's easier to run it around and come around and open up like that. 7 ball, not a problem to get to. And it should be over for Larry. He should be through, he should survive, but it's been a battling fight back by Larry. And it should have been won before this. Seven ball does go in. Nine ball for the match. So Larry goes through. He wins out by 7 racks to 6, but again, he could bump into Baxter again, because Baxter's over to the 1 loss side. Oh, that's Ice Age. Ice Age is getting some promo in for his match, I think. Right, a quick look. So we'll see now that Larry is now in the hot seat, and he's waiting on things happening on the 1 loss side, because he can now have a coffee or whatever he wants. In the meantime, we will jump in. Baxter is waiting to play the winner of this match, the match between Sylvia and One Pocket Slim. Sylvia is getting a 5 ball, again very dangerous. Sylvia with a 2-1 lead in the race to 4, and I think Slim can barely get to this 5. Yes, he can. So we should be all square. And Slim should be going inside the 9 and around and out. Cut that 6 into the short rail and around and out like that. Now, my powers are jinxing. How are they going to interfere with this match? Well, mild interference because it's caused Slim to come up with a dry break. And I don't know whether can Sylvia get enough of the 1 to just catch the edge of the 4. I think she can. I think she can get enough of the 1 to... She might even be able to pot this clean. Yes, she can. Oh dear. What's happened? Oh no, she's on the 2. I was thinking she was on the 3. Oh, I really need to get to bed. But before I do, I'm going to do this once more for anybody who joined the stream and missed what was going on about earlier on. I have a community page on my YouTube channel, so if you haven't done so and you're on Twitch, just go to YouTube and search for 9ball.com. You should find the channel and then click on the community tab, and there's a little poll on there, and that's going to be awkward over the 5 ball. There's a little diagram that I've put up there, and there's 4 questions and 4 options as to how you answer in the poll. And I'm going to tab in a little second and let you listen to what it's all about. Right, have a look at this.
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tab the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
So, all I want you to do is to go to my YouTube channel, go to the community tab, and then choose your choice as to how you vote in the poll. And if you would do, I'd be grateful. Well, I think one of the... I mean, although I don't have an I don't care option, Larry, I think there's still one on there that would suit you. I can't remember the option, but I think the top one's one of the options that you would choose. Is it not the one where we'll make do with what I've got, or something like that, or it's just the V button? I can't remember. I just, my half of my body's in bed, the other half's trying to stay awake. Well, Slim is going to get to the hill, but still facing that 5 ball money ball. But Slim's started good. Couple of balls in the break, 7 and 8's gone. Has a shot in the 1 now. It might be too much of an angle. Yes, I don't know whether he can get a thick enough hit, but he's decided he's not risking it. He's going to bury Sylvia, and again, that's a sensible shot. If that was Stubb, I think Stubb would be hard pushed to have refused that pot and had a blast. I think Sylvia can see enough of the rail to get the kick. Well, she's going to squirt around it. Well, Slim has got his reward. The good safety has caught out Sylvia. And Slim just, again, checking where he's going before he commits himself Cue ball is going to go long into the bottom left. Probably just stop there for the 3 into the bottom right. Don't know whether he wants to try and squeeze it into the side. I don't know whether there's enough room, but it looks most obvious it's going down into the other corner pocket. And if he stuns this in, he should be running into the 9 and holding for the 4. Well,
let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Slim did everything there that he had to do, and he actually just skimmed the 9. But that wasn't the problem. The problem is he hung the 3, the old VP4 stun shot in the pockets, catches a player out again. And, well, Sylvia only had to get the cue ball back into the table anywhere up above the 5, and she was laughing. She's now gone to no man's land. This is horrible. And it's going to hang, but she's got cover now. This is going to be a very clever shot with Slim. Cigarette paper thin, but can he get the cue ball out of there and keep that 5 tucked behind the 6? This has got to be so accurately hit. Yeah, he couldn't do it. It was too tight to get around the angles, and he hit it too thick. So we are going all the way. Cue ball. Oh dear. Where is he?
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
So, ball in hand to Slim with the table at his mercy. 2 not a problem, 3 not a problem, 4 not a problem, and 5 won't be a problem as long as he gets good in the 4. And he should be home and dry. And the 5 won't be a problem. Because he wants to just sort of, I think he just wants to kill this cue ball and leave that angle on the 5 so he can run around a couple of rails, and that's what he's doing. That way he can get well out of there, no problem. And if he leaves distance in the 6, it's not a problem either, because it gives him loads of room to get up the top side of the 7 and then get probably, I would think, to the inside, you know, in the long rail right side for this 8 ball in behind the 9. That would look like the most obvious route he would go, unless he stays on the outside of the 9, in which case he's taking the 8 into the top corner and the 9 back into the side. What's he trying to do here? Would you believe it? He's got himself hooked. And he's trying to bail out with a jump stick at very close quarters here. And how's his luck in the 8? I think there might be just enough of it. Oh, it's tight. I think there's just enough. He's trying to tweak it a little bit. And he has done. A little bit of left spin, just to squirt the cue ball a bit. And this isn't a difficult 9. You get these every day of the week. It opens up. You can cheat the pocket well. So Slim dug himself out a hole there in the end, but he goes through by 4 racks to 3. And so now Slim has to deal with that dangerous man Bankster, because Bankster is lying in wait, and that's going to update in a set. I'll tell you something else. It's although it's it's well past my bedtime, I'm going to have to take a bathroom break because my bladder's about to burst. But we'll head into the room, and they'll lag for the break, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back in time just to catch that break. Ah! Is that right, Larry? So that's the trick that Bankster has found. So that's why Bankster, his rating doesn't go up, because I don't see Bankster playing in many challenge rooms. I think he only comes on for Friday Night 9 Ball. Because I think he's batting well below average. Let's just say that. I'll tell you something right now. Hang on a minute. I'll tell you what we'll do. In fact, I could have tabbed in and typed his name, clicked in his name in the chat, but I'm not bothering to do that. Let's just have a quick look at what's going on here. Right, let's have a look. What the hell month is that? Right, so he's played the matches he's played tonight, and then he's been playing somebody called Greg. Sharky was playing, and he obviously has been in a challenge room. And then he played in Black Ball, and that's a Black Ball again. And then he's been playing 10 Ball, and then he was playing World Rules. Oh, so he has been playing. I was beginning to think he only does play Friday Night 9 Ball. So he has been playing. But tab out. Hang on a minute. Right, so Slim off and running. Well, how do you get this safe? What do you do here? I mean, you can just get in the gap to get to the one, but what's Bankster going to work out with this shot? Aye, that's exactly where I am, Larry, for the leagues. I think I can't remember what I was getting against Sharky last week. I've totally forgotten what I was getting. Whether it was a 7-ball or the 8-ball I was getting against Sharky in the first league match. But then I think I was given handicaps to the other guys I was playing. Was it the 8-ball I was getting? I mean, that match. I mean, I get the perfect start in that match. I had did I break off and get the 9-ball in the break, or did I break and run the first rack? I won the first rack plain enough. Then I think did I play a brilliant combo in the 9 in one of them, and then I think I potted the 9 in the break again, and then I scratched the side. I think that was how the first 3 racks went. But I certainly remember playing a cracking, not a combo, a billiard, a long sort of distance billiard on the 9-ball. But then I was given handicaps, I'm sure, to the other 2 guys I was playing. But again, those guys I was playing, they need the handicap, because it's all they can do to put 2-3 balls together. I was just winging it last week. That's all I was doing. No, Slim got to be 2-0 in front here. He's just a wee bit straighter. He's maybe going to try to pinch a wee bit here and get it spinning. He needs to watch the 9. Yep. He's played it well. Kept the cue ball in play. And once again, he would probably be better staying inside the 8. And having said that, he's came out. He's got a slight angle. He's going to let it run, I think. And he's in the bedhead zone. Well, that's opened up a bit more. That's not quite bedhead. And he's close to it. So, Bankster, in fact, that's the one thing I would mention. Bankster's getting the 7 and out here, but Bankster can have the 7 and out all night. As long as Slim keeps potting balls, Bankster's never going to get to that 7-ball. And Slim's got a couple of balls in the break. 5 and 6 is gone on the 1 ball. But I think he's dead straight, yeah. I mean, he's slightly below to the rail than the 1, but not a lot he can do. And now it's not easy, shall we say, from this position. Cue ball's headed the wrong direction from the 3. And he's trying to spin back. I mean, that was actually a great effort. He at least opened up and exposed the shot to the 3 ball, but it was such a difficult shot. Now Bankster's going to try and duck for cover here. This is delicate if he's trying to be cute. But he's played it well. He's nailed it. And I don't think Slim's jumping this for some reason. And he could, if he gets half ball this side of the 2, below towards us, he could cut it in the side. And he's got it too thin. Now he needs a lucky roll like this to help him. And that will do nicely. 7 ball won't go into the side if you try and kick up and down, because it's well below the bottom half of the pocket, and Bankster's now scratched. So Slim can easily, well, I say easily, can get to the 4. The 4 goes past the 8. So he shouldn't be having any issues. He'll just come back up the table. I don't know what he could just leave himself in the gap between the 9 and 8 just to cut the 4 in, whichever he feels comfortable with. But does he want to risk getting touchy or something? Why not just open it up? Yeah, he's comfortable. And he's got right on the mark. And he's making sure he's coming out this time. Then try to dink something and hold for the 7 there. Again, the sensible shot. And he'll be on the hill. Good evening to Blind Hog. Have you noticed the racks run bug in the 10 ball tournament? Well, it's never really been clear, other than the fact that well, when you say it's a bug, according to Steve, when we looked at the racks ran, I think there's like a dozen people in 2. Am I right in saying that? And I'm sure Steve said in one of the streams that I think it counts breaking runs, and it also counts dry breaks from you and me coming to the table and running out. But to have so many players in 2, that sounds a bit weird, I must admit. So what's the bug then? And I presume Steve knows about it now. But it is a bit weird to have like a dozen people all sitting in 2. Seems a bit strange, the amount of matches that's been played. Or is that Rack's High Run? I think it's Rack's High Run. Anyway, that's more work for Steve to do. That means that my camera options will be even further down the list. Slim trying to duck away there. I think that 9 ball's aiding his cause, although there's plenty of room to jump and hit the 1. And you would think if you jump and hit the 1, it's only going to go that direction, towards the 3 ball. And if it runs into the 3 ball, then it's staying in the table. Well, it's missed the 3, but it's still staying in the table. And Slim, well, they're all there, aren't they? There's not a problem on the table. Well, when I say not a problem, there is a problem. The problem's from the 3 to the 4. So it all hinges on how Slim lands on this 3 ball. Now, the natural path brings him around and around to about here to maybe take the 3 into that side and try and get down onto the 4. So he wants to hit this short, and that's what he's trying to do. He's hitting it short, so he stays. Well, he's gone a bit straight. He's going to have to spin it now and try and pinch the pocket a wee bit so it's going into the far side of the pocket and coming this way. And I think if he misses a 5, he's laughing. If he runs into the 5 like that, he's crying. And that was all because he got funny on the 5, on whatever it was, the 3 ball. Very slightly funny on it, and had to again tweak that cue ball. And then, of course, you get traffic in the way, and the inevitable happened. And what's he doing? Jumping to the corner. He's jumping to the corner. Got the hit. Again, needs to get lucky. And I don't think Bankster this time will refuse the 4 ball. He's got to go for it. And then hope he gets lucky and has a shot in the 5. But it's 7 and out this time. So he needs 4, 5, 6 and 7. And that cue ball pace looks pretty good to me. That will do nicely. He's got absolutely nothing to do than just roll through. He's going to open up and come a wee bit further away from the 6, but it's fine. And at least Bankster should be surviving another rack here. You can't have a high run out total if you have no run outs. Some have no run outs but have high runs. Well, I haven't seen that. I've just noticed the top bit of the chat there, Larry. I never saw that bit. Well, Steve's going to have to get his head round that then. So, Bankster's break gives him the 3 ball. Well, that was nowhere near it, I'm afraid. And again, Slim's come at the table, but he's got trouble ahead of him. And I don't know whether he can. I think the angle's too much. I was thinking about whether he could try and bump into the 8. Well, he's bumped into it from the bottom side, which is fine. He might have been better bumping it a wee bit harder than that, though, because that 7 ball doesn't go. And it ain't going from this side. And that's Bankster's lifeline. Unless Slim thinks that he can billiard the 8 in, there is a possibility he could billiard the 8 if he finished over here. It is very tight. Even that is very tight. I think that it's more than likely you'd try and billiard that and you'd send it to the short rail. We'll soon find out. Well, he's pretty much got it nailed on the spot to give him a chance. If he can get this feather tight thin, it is really, really thin. And in it goes. And
let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Don't say I didn't tell you before it came. And he played it absolutely perfectly. And it's won him the match. It could not have landed in the more perfect spot. And it was the only spot where he would have a chance of that little thin billiard. And that worked out perfect. Excellent. So, we now have a Friday night 9-ball final. It is 9:50 PM, so the tournament's been on 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is reasonably quick. And we now have a final between Larry and One Pocket Slim, race to 9. And it is Larry from the States and Slim from the States. And again, one final time tonight. I'm going to let you have a look at this.
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tab the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
So, for the benefit of any latecomers, well, in fact, at this match here, Larry's had to leave the room for whatever reason it was, because I missed the chat. Maybe something wasn't working properly or whatever, so he's having to maybe reboot. But the reason I showed that little diagram is that there is a community tab on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, click on that community tab, you can then vote your choice in the options available as to whether you would go for that or decide against that, or whether there be any benefit to VP4 or yourself from it, and if you could vote, it'd be much appreciated. Now Larry says still messed up. I don't know whether it's Slim that's messed up or Larry's messed up. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, we'll wait and see. I forgot to get my mic muted. What's the actual problem Slim's got? Because I'm the table low bug. Hit control and U. Hit control and U. And if you have your camera at the same settings that I've got, then you would easily fix that problem. Control and U should fix your camera. And also, if you have the save zoom bug, save zoom option that's on my YouTube channel, that should also resolve the situation. See these numpties that don't set their VP4 up properly. No, it's not his connection that's the problem. It's his cameras went too low to the table. I know what he's talking about, but it's an easy fix. I'll just type it in the chat in the game in case he's not listening to the stream. Anyway, he's playing and he's potting ball, so not everything's broken. And he hasn't said whether it's resolved itself or not, or whether it has worked. Now, who's Scotty Slow? I've never seen that name in the stream. Good evening. Are you somebody in disguise? Are you from Virtual Pool 4? Well, Slim's won the first rat. Remember, the finals are race to 9, and Larry is getting the 8 ball. Well, Larry says I can move the camera below the table, so that's weird. Slim says he's got no sound, which is strange. And he's checked. Is it Larry that's got no sound as well? So there's no sound. I can hear the sound. Everything's working fine for me. But these two guys have had a problem with the room. So the big fix and the simple fix is both kill VP4 process and restart your PCs. Larry says that the VP4 music works if he turns it on, which is getting weirder and weirder. So there's no game audio as far as the sound goes, but Larry can listen to the annoying music if he likes. Oh, Slim's is fine. It's Larry that's having a problem. It's that mouse that's doing it. Tell him that, Slim. Trackball mouse is really wrecking his game. Well, Larry should be all square though. I'm sure he can pop balls without hearing the sound of them going into the pockets. Well, this is needing to bounce, and that's fine because the cue ball just opens up to the right. Oh, what you got to feel bad about, Slim? Well, Larry could go and reboot his PC. That's it. That's the one and only major way to fix it. And let's be honest, it wouldn't take him 10 minutes to do that. I mean, he could kill the process, leave the room, reboot the PC, and be back well within 10 minutes. Well, that 5 and 7 aren't set. Larry's breaks dry. Slim trying to billiard onto the 9. Now, what's Larry doing? Is he trying to duck for cover? There's loads of room to hide here at distance if he pushes the one up the table. Oh, he's trying the one into the side. Well, he's banking on, even though Slim's got a shot, he's banking on Slim not being able to do anything with this 5 and 7. Now, Slim could have done something with the 5 and 7 right there when he potted that one, because he could have ran into them if he had hit it, and he'd still have had a pot and a 2 probably. And Slim's caught the 3 though. Very tight. Well, what's your no, the 5-7 isn't on Interchange X. I had a look at it. It's not lined. It's going to the jaw as far as I can see. I think it might catch too much of the rail. And there's not a problem now. That little brush by Larry. He's just going to have to dig into the cue ball here. I don't know whether it goes past the 7 the other way. Yes, it does. So he's fine. What's your name in VP4, Scotty? And do you play online? Because when you say didn't know that I stream pool, I flood the lobby with links to each time I'm streaming. Everybody will tell you that. So you must not play a lot online, or maybe come on at different times, depending on where you live. But Larry's going to go in the lead. I've been streaming lots of the big tournaments that we've been doing. So the one that's on at the moment is the 10 ball World Championships. I won't be streaming anything tonight. There is a match on tonight, or there has been one, and I think there's another one. But in fact, there's another one just starting right now. As a matter of fact, the head restriction is gone almost, says Larry. The 2 balls spinning for 5 minutes. Seems like an eternity. I've seen them spin longer than that though. So Slim's break, Larry's break dry, and Slim plays the push out now. Is Larry going to be tempted with the bank because it's makeable, and he's trying to run the cue ball out to have a shot at the 2. He had a go at it, and now Slim, if he leaves that angle in the 2, which he's going to do, he's just going to try and come in to this right side, and the worst that can happen is he runs in and bumps the 7. Well, he's come further into the table, which opens everything out. Dead straight in the 3, pinching to go around the angle. 5 into the right side pocket. Again, he wants the angle to make it easy to get back for the 6. Let's see whether he can get there. And that is trying its best. And that will do it. He'll probably just come back and leave the cut in the 6. I don't think he'll risk actually. Yeah, he just come back. Now this is the one that could go funny. If he comes down the table here, which he looks like doing, is he going to come halfway down the table, or is he going to run right down? Because if he runs into the 9, and he hasn't done, he's just clipped it the way back, there's no damage done, but he could have ended up hitting that 9 almost full in the face on the right side and ended up behind the 8 ball and then having to jump. But it's all okay, and it's going to be all square. Same as Twitch. Cool. I don't quite get what you're saying, Scotty. Same as Twitch. Nick camera today. Full laggy, can't see some angles. I'm not quite following. Anybody else having problems on Twitch? Is there any issue in Twitch? I haven't heard anybody else saying anything, if that's maybe what you're getting at. I don't quite understand the text there. So we're 2 racks apiece. It's going to have to be a 2-8 combo bottom left. And the 3 balls fairly tight looking in this bottom rail. It's off the rail. No, the one thing you need to do if you're watching on Twitch, Scotty, you need to go to the bottom right hand corner of the stream screen and click the little cog to make sure that it's at the right resolution. It should be on what is it, 1920 by 1080, in case it's set it to a lower resolution. Because what Twitch and YouTube tend to do is if they're thinking that your bandwidth is not that great early on, it will set it to a lower quality, and you're watching it thinking that there's a problem, but you actually sometimes have to manually choose the best setting that you can. So it should be 1080p. Well, this 3 and 6 ball are asking to be married up with the cue ball every day of the week. Needs to spin it. He's not got it tight enough. Larry will jump over that. That needed to be a little touch heavier just to get right onto that 6 and 3. And Larry will set up for that. Left it safe. And Slim will use the 9 as a blocker probably. Is he coming off the left side of it? I think that would look like the most obvious way to go. Just to try and get the cue ball back down towards the 3 and 6 here. The path's wide open for that. You've got to just hit it thin enough but with the right amount of left spin to get that cue ball fizzing off the rail a wee bit. He doesn't look as if he's interested in that. I don't think he's convinced. But I think that 9 ball will take most of the pace off the 1. Well, he's gone the other way. That works as well. Maybe he didn't want to risk hitting it with too much pace. But that'll do. Well, again, reasonable enough length and a safety by Larry, but Slim again has another good chance this time. Well, he's taken the bait, he's gone for the bank. He's run into the 9, but the 2's wide open and he can follow through. 3 will go past the 6, clean I think, or does it? I think it does. Oh, he's hung the 2, but the cue ball's following through. What a shot!
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
What a shot that was from Slim. Goodness me, and no sooner have I said that, he's hung the 3. Would you believe it? And Larry can't believe it. But he's odds on to build up a 4-2 lead here. He's just hampered a wee bit, but again, it shouldn't be any major issue. Again, he only needs the 8 ball. I'm running on empty here, folks. Well, that's a good break. The 2, the 3, the 6 have gone straight in the 1. 4 ball, which he just wants to play a stun draw back into the gap, and that's what he's done. And this is another rack in the board. A break and run from Larry. Now he's just fallen short in the 7 ball. So if he plays safe, he just rolls through. If he's confident enough, he's managed to hold it and come back. And now he's in no man's land. If he only needs the 8 ball, I've forgotten again. I forgot again about the money ball. But the scoreboard doesn't lie. It's 5 racks to 2. 6 and 7 have gone in the break, landed nicely on the 1 again. 2 ball wide open. Quick look at the 3 ball. Now, it's going to have to be the billiard, I think. Well, the 3 ball is so tight. I think it's the billiard for Larry every day of the week. It's got to be the billiard, I think. I don't think he can miss it. Oh, he's hit it too thin. Commentator's curse there. And Slim's got right out of jail. Probably the 4 into the side. Scotty never did answer my question about what his name was in VP4. Maybe he doesn't play online. So this is 1 against the heads. Slim wasn't thinking he was going to get another shot at it. And he's back to within 2. Cue ball stays on the table. And certainly 3 ball was one of the balls. What was the other one? 3 ball and a 7. And not quite as nicely on this one. But he can duck away for cover. He's gone all out for the cut. Well played. So now that he's committed to playing that shot, he's going all out. Back into the table. Into that gap. Well, he's bumped to 5. That works. Oh, no. That didn't. So the old jump cue, the rescue stick. And he hasn't picked off the pot. So Larry can immediately respond now. Just the 5, the 6 and the 8 to open the gap again to 3. And would you believe it?
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
I mean, that 5 ball was not difficult. But he's digging in it, you see. And that's what happens when you dig in. You can send that ball offline. And that's exactly what's happened. Or he was trying to pinch a wee bit. I don't think he had any real reason to it. But he hasn't left it easy for Slim. And that's about the best he could hope for. And he's got to get a hold of the cue ball as well. He's got to avoid the scratch. And, well, I presume it was a bank that he attempted. Now, does Larry play a couple of rails here, or does he just play it long? No, he's going a couple of rails. The pace looks nice. If it holds up, that's well done. All the room in the world to get on the 9 for 6-3. Well, he doesn't need the 9 again. That's about the 4th time I forgot he's got an 8-ball money ball. Something has dropped. And it's going to have to be a 1-6-4 combo here. Or a billiard. Well, I don't know whether what was the right way to play that or not. But he's going to try and lock up. It might be tight enough. I think Bill would have a go at jumping over that. It looks way too tight to jump to me. Good evening to Ice Age. So we fully expect Slim to get back within 2. And the only way it's going to go wrong is if it goes wrong from the 6 ball down to this 8 ball. Well, is he straight enough? Yes, he is. And that's a reasonable enough angle. Now again, the golden rule with this shot, for safety, when you pot the 8, is get just past the side pocket. And Slim's pace is excellent. He's gone past it and he's sitting pretty nigh perfect in the 9. And he will be back within 2. So as I mentioned earlier, I can't remember who's playing because I can't be bothered looking, but provided both players have turned up, there should be a 10 ball World Championship match on at the moment. I think there was one due to start at the top of the hour there, so it's about 20 minutes old. So if once you've had enough of Friday night 9 ball, if you want, you can go and watch that. I'll be heading straight to bed. Well, he's just a wee bit short in the 4, but again, nothing really to do to get on the 5. But I think Slim's just maybe showing signs of fatigue there. He was way off the mark with that 4 ball. But possibly he was maybe putting a bit of spin in the cue ball that caused it. Because it then exaggerates the error in the shot. If you get that cue ball offline before it's got to the object ball, it's going to make it look like a horrible miss. And so Larry trying to pounce on that, but he's committed the cardinal sin, the old run through in off the 8. And just when Larry thought it was in the bag, that happens. And it's a 2-rack swing. And it's going to be back to within 1. Is it your match that's on at the moment, Ice Age? Well, obviously you're not at the table that often, I don't think, if you're in this stream. But it's already 20 minutes past 10 here, and everybody who watches my Friday night 9 ball stream should know that I'm back up at 4 AM to go to work. So I only get a few hours sleep every Friday, and right now I am more than 2 hours overdue of when I should have went to bed. You've got 3 devices going at once, well, good for you. Well, I've got my main monitor and my second monitor where I'm watching the actual XSplit broadcaster and watching all the functionality of that to make sure everything's going okay. And obviously that's where the chat is as well, so I have to look at that screen for my chat. Well, that wiped its feet a couple of times. But Slim now is breathing right down Larry's neck. It's 6 racks apiece in this race to 9. So Friday night 9 ball is still within 3.5 hours, which is good. It's 3 hours and 21 minutes. since this tournament started, and both of these guys, of course, getting to the final, have sat the longest all night. Not as long as I have, because I was here about 20 to 7. So the stream itself was, what, 3 hours 41 minutes. Couple of balls in the break, 4 and 5. No shot in the one. Oh, there is a shot in the one. I thought he was hooked. I just couldn't be bothered moving the cam. See, if we had this camera option I was talking about, I wouldn't have to have done that. I would have just hit the number 1 button and I would have been behind the shot pretty much. Well, now it's tough. Well, these are horrible shots, especially where the 6 is. Yeah, that was really, really difficult. Not only the pot was difficult, I'll tell you something though. Slim still played a great shot because he got himself on that 6 as good as he could probably expect. Plus the fact he didn't leave the 3 ball on. But Larry has come up with a very good safety. I mean, it's an easy kick, but this ball hasn't got a lot of balls to hide behind when it moves. And Slim is really struggling for the angles because that was not difficult. That 3 ball was a big target. And Slim says in the chat in the match, we're going for Hill. It looks like it. I mean, I think that effort that he made in the 3 ball there definitely suggested that. Playing my match on my laptop, watching the 9 ball on my TV via YouTube, and commenting on it and via the mobile phone. Good evening to Semi-Pro. So, Semi-Pro, have you seen my what do you call it, on YouTube? Have you clicked on the community tab on YouTube? Because I'm going to end up showing you this as well. And that way you can get your vote in. I'll let you see it now.
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tap the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
Well, basically, I think if Steve can put straight pull to 1000 in VP4 for you, he can put the camera options in VP4 for me. So get your vote in fast. Thank you very much. So this match is almost neck and neck. Larry's got a slender lead, 7 racks to 6. Slim, well, he's got a little cut into the side, but the cue ball's going out for the 2. He's in good shape now, and this table's at his mercy, and he should be on the hill. Or he should be, sorry, all square, not in the hill. Oh, I don't use that. Oh, there's Steve there. So did you see my little thing, Steve? And did you hear what I said? That if you can stick 1000 to 1000 in straight pull in VP4 for one player, you can stick my camera options in for me. Oh dear, the fatigue is really kicking in here. Slim, and mind you, by the way, Slim's had a problem. There's been a bug in this room, Steve. Slim's camera, I think, has been all over the place. There's no sound while he's playing. Sorry, Larry, not Slim. Larry's been having loads of problems. Larry can hear the in-game music if he puts it on, but he can't hear any balls hitting pockets or anything, which is weird. And I don't think that he actually restarted his PC, which probably would have fixed it all, but I don't think he done it. Well, that's a good bank from Larry. Well, this time he should be all square, but mistakes and errors are creeping in to these two old guys trying to stay concentrated for 3.5 hours is a big ask. Steve, did Steve say whether he saw my little demonstration diagram? Did he say he heard it? Because he hasn't heard it, I'll let him hear it. Well, there a 2-ball follows in, 4-ball has gone in. There is a attempted bank on the 1 here to land in the 3. And in goes the 1, in goes the 7 as well.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
So it couldn't have landed any better. And he's got the angle to get out onto the 5. So Larry most certainly on the hill now. And he just needs the 5, the 6 and the 8. And this is the one testy shot. And in it goes. And provided Larry's mouse can hold up, he should be home and dry, and I should be able to get to bed. Where's it going? He's fine. So there's a whole stack of matches set for the 10-ball World Championships. Well done to Larry for holding out to battle against Bankster, remember. And he's won out over Slim. I think the wear and tear was showing a wee bit in Slim there, but you expect that if you've been in a tournament for 3.5 hours. One quick look here.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches
now,
in
the
this
top
year's
match is
VP4
gone, obviously.
2022 World 10-Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many matches as I can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
Now, we know that the stub match has finished. It's gone off that list. The Grayslake Moonscake match didn't go ahead because we believe Grayslake is ill and is in hospital. The Smoking Sid Ice Age match started half an hour ago, so it's still underway. And then the next match is tomorrow morning. Sorry, no, I tell a lie, is Sunday morning. I won't be there for that. Sergresh against Jover is at 1 PM. I won't be there for that on Sunday. But Mr. Fox and Interchange X is at 6 PM on Sunday. I'll be there for that one. And then an hour later, Snake Eyes and Biggs on the one loss side gets underway. So we'll keep an eye on that match. And then the next match after that is on Monday evening at 7 PM British Summer Time. Cobra versus LS3 in the one loss side. That'll be a good match to watch. And then finally, we've got Fast Eddie and Z Karaoke on Tuesday at 6 PM. Now, on Tuesday, I'll have finished work and I'll be off for 2 days after that, so I'll have that match no problem. So with that, unlucky Slim, well done to Larry, and thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to bid you good night, and I will head to bed. So see you later, take care, and we'll see you again soon.
Good night, ladies.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.